We are so excited about iPhone 7. It makes all the things you do every day so much better. To tell you more about it, I'd like to invite my colleague Phil Schiller up to the stage. Phil?
Assalamu alaikum. Do you remember when the iPhone 7 was announced not to have a headphone jack? Now at the time, removing the headphone jack was sort of unseen. Like, how would you remove such an integral part of the smartphone experience? But right now, if you own a phone that released in the last few years, it probably doesn't have a headphone jack. It's just the new standard that phone companies follow. But the thing is, their strategy miraculously worked, and it led to one of the biggest successes in modern tech history.
AirPods.
These were literally announced in the same presentation. You cannot tell me that this wasn't just a mere coincidence. Apple introduced the solution to a problem that didn't exist before the presentation. And a lot of us in the tech industry already are used to Apple's reasoning for stuff like this. Flash forward to the present day, where the European Union, I promise we're still talking about Apple, have forced every smartphone company to use the USB-C port. Now this is a big problem in terms of Apple because they infamously refuse to use the USB-C port on their iPhones. They instead use the Lightning port, which, by the way, if you didn't know, Apple sort of has like this monopoly on Lightning cables, so them having to switch to USB-C is a really hard ask. But here's the thing, this only applies to you if you have a port in your phone. But what if you don't? It's the theory that, let's be honest, Apple is not going to switch to USB-C. They are going to capitalize on the wireless charger market, which they already have MagSafe, so why not just make it a standard? Something like this would be absolutely huge for smartphone makers. It's sort of like how really every smartphone company now has like their own version of AirPods. Now I feel like suddenly every smartphone company is going to have their own versions of the MagSafe. There actually was a concept phone called the Meizu Zero. It was on Kickstarter and it didn't really meet its funding goal. It was supposed to be a portless phone, which not only they removed the charging ports, they also removed the speakers for some reason. They were really serious on being portless. But it failed and it did not end up releasing. So let's think about it like this. If Apple wants to justify the removal of the charging port, they have to make up for it in some way. Also, do you remember when Apple infamously removed the charger that used to come in the box? You know, they might make it such a big deal if they want to add the MagSafe in the box. I'm just saying this, if Apple wants their wireless iPhone to be a success, they might want to add the MagSafe in the box for free, in order to ease more people that might not be familiar with wireless charging. And honestly, it's kind of crazy to think that the next iPhone might not have a charging port. It's such like this essential part of the smartphone experience that its removal would be honestly kind of sad. So do you think that Apple will take the next step in smartphones? But the true question is this a step forward or a step back?